How's it going, everybody? As promised, another workout for you. So it's going to be 21 15 9s. So you're going to take 2 exercises at a time. You're going to alternate between the two. So you're going to do 21 reps, and then you'll do 15 reps, and then you'll do 9 reps. So for example, the first one is shoulder taps and grandma get-ups. So you'll do 21 shoulder taps, and then you'll do 21 grandma get-ups, and then you do 15, 9, and 9, okay? All right, so shoulder taps. So all you're gonna do for that is you're gonna come into high plank. Okay, so as I've talked about multiple times, we don't want slouching of the back, right? So tilt those hips in, come up to high plank, and you might want to spread your legs a little bit farther than maybe your normal plank, because you're going to take one arm and touch your shoulder and put it back. Okay, you can do it a little bit faster, but basically what you don't want is this. Okay, see how this is like, you want to keep those hips as stable as possible, and then again keeping the arms or the shoulders directly above the elbows, directly above the wrists, okay? And then if you're experiencing any kind of a wrist pain, try and like grip the ground like this, because then basically you're engaging more than just your the palm of your, or the heel of your hand. So once again, tap, 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 okay? So 1, 1, 2, 2, okay? And again, a little bit of movement is okay, but just not, we're not doing that, okay? All right, grandma get-ups. So you're gonna start here, you're gonna come up to here, and then you're gonna come back down, just like this, right? You will be feeling this in your quads, and probably a little bit in your glutes. So that's basically the grandma get-up. Nothing too specific around form with that, other than if your knees start hurting, again, just make sure that you're engaging your glutes, okay? And then if you need to just put an arm down and use it that way, then that's okay too. But the goal is to eventually get to the place where you're not using your arms for balance. Okay, next set, push-ups and kettlebell swings. You can use a dumbbell. You could use like anything basically that has a handle, a sturdy handle. So push-ups, again, if that's like an assisted push-up, but make sure that your back is not slouching. So if that's an assisted push-up, come down as far as you can, on your knees or up on your feet. You know the drill. Make sure that those abs are nice and tight. Come down as far as you can. So 21 of those. And then kettlebell kettlebell swings. So basically, when you think about a kettlebell swing, you're gonna have your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. The dumbbell or the kettlebell is gonna come between your legs. So there are some different schools of thought around this, in that some believe that you need to come into a squat, and some just believe that it's like a little bend of the knees. I am of the little bend of the knees, just making sure those hips come back, and then you're not using your arms to swing the kettlebell up, you're pushing with your hips, right? So when you're doing this, you're literally, it's like thrusting your hips forward, okay? So the weight is going to bring you down. So for this part, just making sure that you are nice and tight all the way around here. So again, not allowing our back to bend like this or excessively like this, okay? So you just come from here. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is, don't let your shoulders slouch forward either. You need to keep them pinned back, okay? So I like to just do a little bit of a beginner swing and then thrust with the hips. So I am not using my arms to muscle that up at all. I'm literally pushing and allowing the momentum to bring it up to about shoulder height. It can go a little higher, you know, I don't really see any issue with that. Just know that when you're keeping it to about here, you're keeping that core nice and engaged. You're squeezing the glutes, okay? This is very much a glute exercise and core exercise. So squeeze, squeeze, right? And you're thrusting those hips forward, okay? So that's your kettlebell swing. Okay, underhand rows. So again, you can use a dumbbell, you can use a kettlebell, you can use soup cans, bottle of wine, water bottle, whatever. So you're gonna be bent over as much as if you can only come to a 45, that's fine. Just again, making sure that we're not slouching this way or this way, okay? And then you're just pulling up just like that. So the other thing that you can, if you want to do 2 at a time or 1 at a time, either way, just making sure that you are keeping those shoulders squared up, okay? So see how they're nice and square rather than rounded like this, right? Because again, when you kind of allow your shoulders to drop, that immediately is going to also allow your back to come rounded, and we don't want that. So keeping your form nice and tight, squared up, and then pulling up to the rib cage, and then lowering down, straight down. And again, just keeping that back nice and neutral. Okay, so we're protecting that low back. We're not, and then and basically your whole back for this one because you're bent over, right? So you can either do 2 at a time, or if you prefer, maybe put one hand on your knee and then row up one arm at a time, okay? All right, and then straight leg deadlifts. Okay, so once again, you can grab something heavy, whether it's a kettlebell, dumbbell, or even like a bag of dog food or something. That might be a little tougher, but basically for this one, it's a straight leg deadlift. So your knees will be soft, but we're not coming down to a complete squat in our deadlift, right? So we're just keeping the kettlebells close to the body, hinging the hips back first. I even like to just graze my knuckles alongside my legs the whole way down and the whole way up, okay? So you go as far as you can until you feel that stretch in your hamstrings, keeping the back nice and straight, even all the way down here. See how I'm still not allowing my back to bend like this, right? And part of that, again, is keeping those shoulders nice and square the whole way down and all the way up, right? Because if I let my shoulders slouch like this, see how my shoulders are rounded? Look what happens, okay? So you just want to make sure to keep, so even just starting, like, roll those shoulders down and back, keep them that way, and then slowly grazing your knuckles against your legs the whole way down and the whole way up. And if you can't get all the way down to, you know, like I am here, then if you just come to here, that's fine. Basically, we're feeling that pull and that flex in the hamstrings, and then on the way up, you really want to be squeezing those glutes all the way up. All right, so that's your straight leg deadlifts. All right, devil's press and hammer curls. So devil's press as an alternative. The dog just scared the chicken. As an alternative to the devil's press, you can do a burpee, and whether that's the step back burpees or a regular burpee, I'll leave that up to you. So this is a little bit more of an advanced thing, but it is, hey, lady, you're kind of loud. All right, come on. Hey, come on, get out of here. No, Hakuna. Okay, so it is a little bit more advanced, so I would definitely recommend starting with a lighter weight, okay? So for this purpose, I'm going to start off with the 15s, but again, whatever you are most comfortable with. So really fast, what it looks like is you're going to come down, jump back, push up, and swing. Similar to the kettlebell swing, we're using the hips to push the momentum, right, up to the top, to like basically a shoulders press, right, position. So similar to the kettlebell swing, you're just wanting to make sure to keep that back nice and straight. Use those glutes to propel that momentum up to here, and try not to overly extend, right? So okay, so basically that's what that's supposed to look like. So again, just like using those hips to really thrust and use that momentum to bring it up. So you want to use a lighter weight. Like basically when I'm doing a high rep day, I'll use 15s. So if you can kind of think of what weight you can do 15 reps of shoulder presses without, you know, being dead. That's basically how I've kind of would recommend that as far as choosing your weight. So again, if that's just a water bottle, or if that is or 2 water bottles, or you know, whatever, so just use your own discretion. But again, if you don't want to do those, then you can do just a regular burpee. Okay, lastly, hammer curls. So similar to, well, let me show you the difference, okay? So your regular curl, you're just coming down to here, nice and tight to your sides, and coming straight up, right? For a hammer curl, you're gonna start with the weights at your side, and I'll show you one at a time. So you're gonna come up to the chest like this. So there's a little bit more of a curl involved, as opposed to here, where it's like all biceps. With the hammer curl, you're including a little bit more of your pecs too. So 2 at a time is going to look like this. You're still keeping the elbows nice and tight to the body. You're still keeping your core nice and tight, right? So we're not swinging or arching, okay? So this is the hammer curl, and this is your regular curl, okay? So you can do either one, but because I did your regular curls earlier this week, I'm doing hammer curls now. So that is your workout. Yeah, if you have any questions or would like something as an alternative, just let me know. Enjoy.